Well, hey, folks, I'm going to give your guys' advice. I started this mulberry tree just from just a little twig, you know, not too big. And I just put some root hormone on it and stuck it in a little pot um, last year and started it that way and it grew roots. So I left it in the pot over winter. It was a little tiny thing. And what you see here, this is all growth from this year only. There's only so much I could do with it because of how it was growing. So I cut it into three. You can see three main branches coming out. There's not like that traditional, center lead in the middle because it was started just from it's a little scion. And well, that's how it grew. And I like plants. I don't like killing plants unless they're weeds. But you can see it's getting pretty big. And I knew it was only going to be able to be in this bucket for about 1 year because it's going to get root bound in there quick. These mulberry trees, they're very aggressive growers. One thing I like about it is my tortoises eat mulberry leaves. The parent tree of this was a fruiting mulberry, so I'm assuming eventually it will produce fruit. Yes, I know they're messy, and when the birds eat it, they crap purple crap everywhere, and it's a mess. But the good thing about these is you can cut them down literally to nothing every year. I could just cut this off right here like this, just cut it down to nothing. And next year it would grow like nothing ever happened. You don't have to follow the 1/3 rule on these. These are aggressive, and um, but I know the roots. The roots do cause a bit of damage. I mean, I don't have any sewer back here in the backyard or anything, but you know, a lot of the roots do run on top of the dirt somewhat, and they will travel from yard to yard. But I have this tree. I'd love to put it in the ground back here, but I'll tell you, I just don't know where to put it, guys. I would put it right here where this purple robe locust has blown down over and over again. And you can see it started growing another shoot there. So same thing with this. I did the best I could with what was growing. Gave that one three branches as well because that's kind of what I had to work with. But it's, becoming a nice tree. I'm going to keep this one trimmed down a little because I don't want the wind to blow it over again. And I am going to put another wooden stake to try to prevent that because these get really top heavy and they can be brittle. But I would prefer the mulberry over this because mulberries give a lot of shade and you can prune them back real hard. And my tortoises love mulberry leaves. This would probably be the ideal spot for me, but honestly, I don't think I could get that stump out of there. Um, I mean, I probably could, but it would probably take a lot. Probably have to move that drip line out of there and get like a barrel, maybe half a 55-gallon barrel, or make a fire ring out of some bricks or something, and just burn a fire and burn a fire and burn a fire, and just burn it all the way down until I eventually get that stump out of there. So I don't know. And I don't know if I want to kill this one to do it. As you can see, I brought so much stuff back here and planted so much stuff. I really don't have anywhere to put it. Now, I could put it where it is. I could put it in the ground. But I'm afraid these roots in no time would go underneath my paver patio here. I would probably start upheaving it and lifting it up. I know I also do have my sprinkler line somewhere in this vicinity going to my lawn. So I don't want to disrupt that. Um, I thought about maybe taking out this Rainier cherry tree because it's just not doing good, honestly. I've just I don't know. I've never been happy with this tree. It's struggling. Usually I have no trouble with anything I plant. It does great, but this one's just never been great. I don't know what's up with it. So I thought about putting it there, and I could put it there, but mulberries get big, and probably in no time it would be grown into the cherry tree. I mean, I could trim it back and keep it short. That's always an option. And I'm also kind of worried if I put it here that it's going, it might shade the grass too much because believe it or not, the grass will grow differently all everywhere you see. And then once you get the shade of the cherry tree here in the summer, the grass does grow. Well, I'd say it grows a bit differently. I mean, it's not like I can just water this portion on my automatic sprinklers one way and this another because the yard's it's two stations, but it's split up long ways like this. So this portion of the yard probably gets a little more water than it needs with the shade, you know. But anyway, I mean, this is a big open area. I could put it here. I don't think the roots would disturb anything. I just don't know how the grass would do under it. I don't want to. I know sometimes when you have a lot of shade over the lawn, you can kind of, the lawn can kind of die out around it. So I'm thinking about putting it there. That's one option. I don't really want to put anything over there. That'd probably be a good spot where that peach tree is, but I'm happy with the peach tree. Like I say, this area is all full over here. That would be the best spot there, in my opinion. I do this to all my yards. I got a great big yard, and by the time I'm done, even though it's still big, it doesn't look big anymore. It looks crowded, but I like it. Um, Originally, I wasn't going to put anything over here at all because if I ever need to bring my antenna down, I made it so it leans over this way, and it'll lean over right on the side of my shed, so I can bring it down and service it or whatever. So I wanted to leave this area open. As you can see, I did put stuff here, but the windmill, I can always move that. That's just staked in the ground. I can always unstake it and move this so I can work on the CB if I ever need to. Stuff like this can move. The log would be fine. Actually, the antenna would probably rest right on the log. That would be fine. These barrels aren't going to cause me any trouble. So I could put it right here, the tree, somewhere like here. But I just think this is kind of a tight area. It would be in the path of my antenna. And I also do have my sprinkler lines. So let's see, my sprinkler lines are running right up here. I believe they're run to about right here. And then they go straight over all the way to the grass. So it'd probably be good to avoid this, even though they're probably about 18 inches down. Probably be good to avoid this and avoid this whole area right here. So I don't know. I've got two big ornamental pear trees in the front yard, and they're huge, and I really don't have any more room in the front yard without, really, because these get big. If you're not familiar with the mulberry tree, they get gigantic. I mean, you've got to prune them every year. They just get out of control. They're monsters. They'll get just as big, if not bigger, than my cherry tree. Probably bigger, to be honest. So what do you guys think? Should I put this in the ground? Or do you think there's any option where I can just get a bigger container? Like maybe go to the nursery and see if they have one of those great big wooden containers, the temporary things. Maybe I could just put it in there. I don't know. Might get a few years out of it before, but then I'm, in the boat where what am I going to do then where it's root bound? I would like to save this and do something with it. If you guys have any opinions, let me know. Now, I do have this mulberry here too. I did not plant this one at all. Um, this one, you know what? I thought this was a mulberry. I'm pretty sure it is, but now that I look at it, I'm not sure. That has different leaves. This may not, I don't know. I may have been wrong about this, guys. This may not be a mulberry. Does anybody know what this is? I could be totally wrong. Yeah, that's not a mulberry leaf. Geez, I thought this was a mulberry. Whatever it is, it sprouted up on its own. Probably had about 20 sprouts. I cut it down to 3. Oh, look who it is. It's my big boy. Big boy. Hey, buddy. Hey, Big Boy Slim. That's his name, Big Boy Slim. Oh, he's such a nice kitty. Yes, he is. He just showed up. He was just a neighborhood cat, very skittish. I started feeding him, and after about 6 months, now he's my best bud. He spends all day in the house sleeping. I feed him outside in the morning, at night. Sometimes he comes in at night. Sometimes he stays outside. I'm Big Boy Slim. Oh, he's such a good cat. I'll make sure to keep him in on Halloween. But anyways, what do you guys think? Anyways, I didn't plant this. This just volunteered somehow. But I'll show you where I got the stalk from. That mulberry right there is this one here. Hey, that's just a wild mulberry growing on my neighbor's backyard. Wild. He didn't plant it. A bird probably pooped a seed. Very spindly. I just cut a little thing off of that. Like I say, put a little rooting hormone and watered it. And that's what I have right there now. So help me decide, where do I put this thing? All right, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.